Hi you guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome or welcome back. It's my second video today that I've recorded, and I'm now doing the quilt. I did the December daily earlier. So switching gears, we're gonna work on the quilt journal for a little bit. I have some things semi-prepared. There's nothing new back there. So I wanted to put in another page. I've added a pocket and I've got something to make to put inside of the pocket. So I'm gonna set that out of the way. This is going to go here. I thought that looked nice with that. And then turning the page, I'm gonna add something in between here, so this won't necessarily be what's next to this page when it's all said and done. I'm gonna move that out of the way. So I have made a pocket already, and I put a picture of a crazy quilt on the pocket. And then in the pocket, I thought we would make a little double journal card and cover the front with some more crazy quilt. I believe I need to score this. I don't want it to crack. It may or may not, I don't know, but I don't want it to. I need to make sure that I'm going about this in the right direction as well. That's probably right. It looks good to me. They fit. Okay, so 9 inches. That out of the way. So I have nothing new to report since my last video because it's really only been a couple of hours. So nothing exciting has happened between now and then. I'm going to trim just the tiniest little bit off right here. Okay, that's pretty good. And I think that I want to make this, let's see how it fits in. A lot of times when you have pointy corners, they don't like to go into the pocket, but that's fine. This is what I intended to do, right? I think it's what I intended to do. I prepared this yesterday, and sometimes it's really hard for me to remember what I've thought from one day to the next. When I started working on the December daily earlier, same thing happened. I opened up to what I had prepared, you know, before I actually went to make the video. And I had to look at it for a while and think, oh man, I'm sure I had a wonderful idea, but I absolutely cannot remember what it was. And I don't know if what we did is what I planned, but it worked out, I suppose. This really isn't showing up all that much, but at least there's not going to be that little white cut edge on it, so that's good. And I'll go ahead and do this. Let's see here. This is getting almost empty. I need to refill it. I don't know. Okay, good. really don't know if there was an up or a down on this. No, it's a crazy quilt. There's no up or down. Isn't it cool? I mean, what a cool thing to have. I didn't have a crazy quilt growing up, but I had a quilt that my mom made out of all of our old clothes that she had saved. My mom was a saver. I did not get that from her. I'm a get rid of her. I don't like a lot of things laying around. You wouldn't know that by looking in my craft room. And I am a little more over decorated than like a minimalist or something like that, but I'm not a saver. I think, you know, and sometimes I regret that, I have to admit. But I remember when I was a kid, my dad was complaining about the boxes of things that my mom had full of items that were never going to be used again. And she was upset because she had kept clothing that we had worn often, you know, like if it was something she saw us in all the time and they were real cute fabrics and things like that, she kept them. And so my dad was gonna get rid of them and she was not happy about that. So she made a quilt. She cut up all the fabrics that could be used in a quilt, and she made this quilt out of it. It was the only quilt that I'm aware of she ever made. And we kind of fought over it when it was done. It wasn't a crazy quilt. It was just squares. But it was very cool, and she didn't do the, you know, quilting. She tied it with yarn, and then she just layered it with like an old blanket that we had. So it was the quilt top, a blanket, and then I think it was a sheet that she used, and then she tied it with yarn. We loved that thing. We all fought for it to be on our beds. We took turns having it on our beds. I don't know where it is now. I have no idea. I'm sure somebody has it, but I don't know who. I actually got to take it with me to college, and I remember my friends saying, "That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life." And I was like, hey, those right there are some fighting words. My mama made this quilt. So, but I do remember that it started falling apart, so we quit using it. I don't know. I mean, it could be that my mom has it. I don't know. But we loved that thing. But since I'm not a saver, I don't have anything like that to be able to make things for my kids. Or out of their old clothes or anything like that. It's a great idea, though. There I go again, wiping my hand, my glue onto my hand. Oh well, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, is that saying? Okay, so I like that. And then on the inside, I thought that, you know, even though there's a pattern on it, it's a light enough pattern that you can still journal here. So I'm going to leave this as it is, but I want to put just a little side pocket on it. So let's ink around. One of my great aunts, I think, maybe, yeah, one of my great aunts, I guess, was a quilter. And like I said, well, I don't know. Yeah, I think I've put up the video that said I didn't grow up with family around. So I didn't know her at all, but apparently one of them was a quilter. And when she passed, I don't know if she gave this stuff to my grandma, and then when my grandma passed, then it ended up at our house. I have no idea how it happened, but several quilts were given to us that she had made, and it's one of those that is pretty old and it's starting to fall apart, which is really sad, but my daughter is using it right now on her bed, which is sweet, you know. I think that's kind of sweet. Okay, so I'm just going to cut around this. I actually thought I could make make scans of it and put a couple of images of it in this, but it's on my daughter's bed and I don't know that I want to take it off because she has a loft bed and it's really high up there. I don't want to get up there. Okay. So maybe next time. Okay, what I thought we would do is then glue it onto this. I'm hoping that my ink doesn't smear. And then cut out around it again. Did I? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, that's right. Just glue that on there. It'll be a cute little pocket. I thought about doing a small tuck up in this corner as well, and I might, but we'll see. There I am again, doing things off camera. I'm just inking. That's cute, I like that. I have this, I don't even really know what it is, but I found it several years ago at a thrift store. And created fused edge. But anyway, how perfect is this? I have to figure out some way to use it. Very cute. I'm sure some of you guys know what it is. I don't really know what it is. I have quite a few different patterns of it, but that's the only one that has like the quilted pattern. Anyway, so there's that. I might do another one up here. I don't think I have the same pattern in this quilt book. I would have to do a different pattern, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So we will put this in here. I do need to punch holes, and I don't know where I put my template. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't remember what color it is, so let's see. Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm wanting it to be this way. Just making sure my journaling card is out of the way. Let's see, where did my hole punch go? I really do like making things in binders because you can move pages, and one of the things I've noticed when I'm making journals is that I'll get things too full, and then I'll have to thin out what I'm doing as I go. Okay, loud, you guys. I'll have to thin out as I go, but with this, I can just flip around and change things out as I go, which I like. Okay, so the next thing I have for us to work on, get some of these things out of the way. Okay, so I have a pocket to put here. I thought this pattern looks really cute with this. Doesn't that look great? I mean, I don't know. I think it does. I might need to put some hole reinforcers on this one. I'm going to go ahead and do the punches so that when I'm gluing things down, I'm not covering up where I need my punches to be. So I think that's probably a good idea. My eyes are starting to not work. Okay, get that out of the way. And then I think that I'll put my paper, my hole protectors there, because I can ink them up and they'll blend in pretty well. I keep on inking more of these and then I don't know where they go. I know I've got a couple pages of them that I've already inked. Oh well. They're somewhere. I'll find them eventually. I'm going to put a little glue around it. I remember these things from when I was a kid. They had almost like a fabric feel to them. Do you guys remember that? And I think you had to lick them and stick them. Oops. Okay. And this will be a pocket, so I might as well go ahead and glue the pocket down. Let's see, I don't want to lose what I'm working on. I thought this was cute because the color in the stitching on her hat is this orange that's in the paper, and then there's the color of the blue as well. So I just thought that was a great match. It was a lucky coincidence. And then I'm having to go through my quilt books to try and find images that go with, you know, the papers that I've chosen. Okay, so if that is there, I wanted to make a pocket out of this. And if I move it over, and then I have this be the pocket coming out this way. So I'll have to punch through this, and that's fine. I think I'll just punch through them all together. I had to cut off there was more to this quilt in the book. It actually had a blue edge, but it went so far out that it didn't fit my page anymore. So I altered the quilt to fit my needs. This is a great way to use up some of your old scrapbooking paper. This paper is some that I know is quite old. It says 2001 on it. And I believe I got it at a yard sale. The mother of all craft yard sales that I went to a couple of years ago, she was getting rid of so much paper. And I think actually my friend Donna cleaned out the rest of her scrapbooking paper and then just made piles of it to give to people, because there were a lot of the same pattern and a lot of, you know, quite old things. Sometimes they're hard to use, you know, but I think it definitely works in this case. Look, I had one. I just didn't want to dig for it. Okay. And of course, you probably noticed that that's pinwheel and the pocket is pinwheel. How clever. Okay. I think that I will glue and then I will hole punch. And if I had thought, I would have done that before putting the hole reinforcers on there, but that's okay. I think I'm going to leave just a little bit of that showing. I think that would be good. There's no up or down. I think I'm going to let that glue dry for just a minute before I try to use my hole punch in there. So here I have a piece of fabric. Isn't that cute? So there's, you know, the blue and there's some orange in the fabric. I think it goes. I think it's really cute. And I have my hot glue ready-ish, just because this thing doesn't work very well. I did buy a different one at one point, but it didn't work any better. It just sat and oozed all the time, so that's not good. Come on. Once it's going, it's fine. It's just getting it going that's the problem. when it's run out of a glue stick. Going a little crooked. Don't know if it is, but okay, that's cute. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and punch those. Maybe. Okay, so that's going to be a really cool pocket there. I like that. And then I just wanted to do a journaling card in here. It was a little harder finding something that I thought went with this and with this, but I think this is good. Again, I had to trim this one down quite a bit. I think I'm done with my hot glue, so I'm going to unplug it, get it out of my way. And then I'll move this over. I'm going to put a little ink around just to get the white edge off. Hopefully when I'm done with this video, I'll remember to put a little ink in my pad. I keep saying it, but then I always run off and do something, and then I don't think of it again until I'm in the middle of doing it. And you can't re-ink right when you're about to use it, because then you'll have just a sopping wet ink pad, and that's not going to be good. So on this one, I'm just using the same paper as a base to the quilt, and then also to back it for the journaling card. This was, there's some like glue from where it was stuck to the paper pad. It's really white on this end. I'm just gonna dull it down a little bit. Okay. I keep on trying to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. I mentioned in my last video that I might be going to see some lights in Spokane, and it's in the park. Spokane has a really, really pretty downtown park. It's called Riverfront Park, and it's, you know, beautiful, really. We used to go down quite often when the kids were younger, but, you know, not really so much anymore. But But they've got a light show, I guess, and they've got trees. I'm hoping that, you know, they're lit up, and because it said that there's 40 fresh trees, and I'm assuming that means they're decorated in some way. But I keep thinking, okay, well, if we do that, what are we going to have for dinner? Because, you know, the restaurants aren't open, and I mean, there's takeout, but then if we did that, what and where would we eat, you know? In the park? I don't know. In the cold, in the dark? I don't know what to do. And since we don't go downtown very often, I really don't know what's down there that's convenient for takeout. So I don't know. I know they do, and I don't know, there's like a donut guy in the park, and I'm thinking, well, at least there was last time I was down there. And I don't know if he's allowed to do his donuts right now, since it's only takeout. You know, you just stand there, order, then you walk away. So I would assume he is. So I don't know, maybe we're having donuts for dinner. That's not such a bad thing. Okay, we're going to open that, poke this in. I think that looks nice. Okay, loud noise. Sorry. And then I've got one more bit ready to work on. Okay. This is a lot of pattern on solid on pattern. I hope it turns out well. I had it layered up, and I thought it looked okay, so we're going for it. This is going to be a pocket, like a tuck kind of a pocket. And it's right on the stitching, so I'm putting just a little extra glue. I'm getting my shirt in it. So I'm going to layer this on top. I know it looks like a lot, but I think it turns out okay in the end, so be patient. I really like this. Is it gingham? Is that what that kind of fabric is called? I really like that kind of fabric. And then in this book that I've been cutting things out of, there are quilts and there are poems. And, you know, the poem is supposed to kind of go with the quilt. And some of the poems to me are quite corny. And so you will not be seeing them in the journal. But now this one's not. This is just kind of a label. But I'm going to put a little poem. You can try and read it while I'm working, and then when I'm done with all my gluing, I'll also read it to you just in case you haven't managed. But it's a good one. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So that one's worthy. But some of the other ones are like, okay, silly. I see, so lots of layering. Lots and lots of layering, but that's okay. I think it turns out looking really cute. I think I might be out of glue. Either that or like there's a little clog in it, but I'm not going to take a chance on spewing glue everywhere, so I'm just going to switch. Yeah, this part right here is like really thick. There are a lot of layers right here. There's fabric and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 layers. 5 layers of paper. Now 6. So I hope you guys don't think that I'm scatterbrained. I seem to do a different theme or style, and I know a lot of people, you know, they make one kind of thing mostly, and that's perfect. You know, it's beautiful, and we go to those channels because we know that's what we're gonna see, and I tend to skip around a lot, and I hope that's not, you know, disappointing to you guys. I like making lots of different things, and so that's what I do. You know, like this isn't at all like frilly, romantic. It's more almost Americana kind of. And so, you know, obviously that's a way different theme. Anyway, I hope that you guys like that it's, you know, you never know what you're going to see. But then again, some people may not like that, I realize. I have noticed that there aren't as many views on the Quilt Themed Journal. So, I don't know, maybe it isn't a good thing. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I'll go ahead and ink the back side as well, because it's gonna have to be done. And we're almost finished. Once we finish this tag to go into the pocket, that's all I will have for today. And I'm excited that I've accomplished 2 videos in one day, because my house needs a little bit of cleaning. Let me tell you what. I need to clean the floors in a really bad way. I've been neglecting. And the bathrooms. You know, if people would just not use the bathrooms. My friend just sent me a message. She's at the shop where my journals are. And she's wondering how many I have down there. Let's see, maybe somebody has purchased one. I only have 3 of them down there. So, and you guys have seen them. They're the ones that I did. The one that I did surgery on, the one that was the 3-ring binder one, and the White Christmas one. I'm going to leave this to be a little pocket if I decide I can poke something down in there. Little bits everywhere. Almost finished. Oh, so if you didn't manage to read the poem, it says, okay, so the quilt that, you know, was here, I guess it was supposed to be like a friendship quilt, but then a lot of them say, so I don't know, a lot of them refer to a being like a friend or something, but then it also says that the quilt is the friend. So I don't know, but the poem says, I do not wish to treat friendships daintily, but with roughest courage. When they are real, they are not glass threads or frostwork, but the solidest thing we know. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And somebody who reads better would have made that sound much more beautiful than I did. So, but anyway, that's a nice sentiment, isn't it? Shouldn't have to treat your friendships with like daintiness, because if it's a true friendship, it should withstand, right? Okay, that isn't all the way dry. So that will go in there, and I want to put, it's always this lace that I go back to every time. I don't know what it is, but it just, to me, it fits everything. And I find it at the dollar store. They don't always have it. I found a couple and I bought them. And then months and months and months later, I found more and I bought all of them because I knew that they would for sure get used. I should ask Santa for a new pair of scissors. That might be a very wise thing to do. Okay, so didn't that turn out well? I mean, it looks like a little bit much at first, but I think it turned out very well. I like it. It's pretty. And it will go just like that. And I'm going to hole punch it. I'm definitely going to hole punch it. Make sure my thing's not in the way. Okay, loud. Alrighty, and I'm gonna leave that open so it can dry and not get stuck on the lace. Alrighty, so that's all we have for today. I hope you guys have a lovely day or evening, and please give me a thumbs up and comment, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.